after being harshly criticized by its American counterparts. The Bharat Empire, acting as a watchdog, displayed a defiant stance, refusing to stop purchasing Russian oil and vowing not to compromise on core issues like agriculture. Many videos appeared on YouTube claiming India rejected the F-35, which nearly made me laugh out loud. The US never offered to sell the F-35 to India. It was Modi who, during a visit to the US, pleaded to purchase the F-35, and after careful consideration, the US decided to give India a chance. However, the US imposed numerous conditions, such as requiring India to buy large quantities of other American weapons, including unsold or obsolete products, and accept strict US oversight. Given Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's reputation as a widow-maker, even if the US sold the F-35 to India, it would demand all maintenance and repairs be handled by American companies. To accommodate the F-35, India would also need to build extensive hangars and supporting facilities. Even if the US signed a contract with India now, delivery would only occur after all US allies receive theirs, by which time China's seventh-generation fighter jets would likely be developed. The notion of the US selling the F-35 to India has always been hyped up by Indian media, and now claiming to reject it seems like a show of strength, though the US hardly cares. France's example is telling. Without receiving final payments, 3 Rafale jets were shot down, and Dassault's decades-long international reputation was ruined by India in hours. Russia fared worse, with enough MiG-21, MiG-29, and Su-30 jets crashing during training to equip a mid-sized country's air force. Alongside the Rafale jets shot down by Pakistan, 1 Russian Su-30 and 1 MiG-29 were also downed. This aligns with Trump's confirmation of 5 jets being shot down. Pakistan's Air Force has signed an agreement with China, awaiting mass production and delivery of the J-35. According to recent CCTV news, J-35 production has ramped up, with 1 jet manufactured every 3 days. Pakistan expects to receive its first prototype soon for training and performance evaluation, aiming to complete its plan for 40 J-35 jets within a few years. If the Bharat Empire does not acquire the F-35, it will face further humiliation from Pakistan's Air Force. India's weak Air Force cannot even handle the J-10C, let alone the advanced J-35. India's indigenous AMCA fighter remains at the model stage, with core components like engines undecided, offering no value beyond boasting at air shows. How can a country like India, lacking high-power wind tunnels, develop a 5th-generation fighter? The outcome will likely mirror the Tejas fighter, decades of development, obsolete before mass production, with weak performance that even its own Air Force avoids, and nearly all core components, except seats and shells, imported at prices several times higher than foreign products. Apart from the US and China, the only 5th-generation jet in production is Russia's Su-57, but its production is low, barely meeting Russia's own upgrade needs. India once participated in the early development of this model, but withdrew when Russia shared no core technology, leaving India funding without control. Abandoning the F-35, with unreliable indigenous development and Russia's jets facing production constraints and sanctions, India's 5th-generation fighter plan seems destined for Bollywood fantasies. I recall a Russian comment that put it well: India should first master the MiG-21, then replicate the Su-30, and only after fully understanding these pursue 5th-generation fighters. Development should start with core components like engines and radars before tackling the entire aircraft. This suggestion makes sense. For the Bharat Empire to develop fighters without producing engines, radars, or fire control systems is overly ambitious. Given India's industrial base, it cannot produce high-quality titanium alloys or rare earth products, making it impossible to develop core fighter components like engines or radars. For instance, gallium nitride radars are mass-produced only by China and the US, as only these 2 countries have the capacity to produce gallium nitride. France cannot achieve this, so the Rafale jets sold to India use gallium arsenide radars, which are inherently disadvantaged against the J-10CS gallium nitride radars. With tense China-US and China-West relations, strict export controls on rare earths and sensitive resources have sharply reduced U.S. defense industry capacity. India's chances of obtaining rare earths or rare metals from China are clearly non-existent. To achieve independent fifth-generation fighter production, India needs not just its defense sector, but an integrated industrial system, which it clearly lacks, given its heavy reliance on Chinese supply chains. Even if India received J-35 and F-35 blueprints and a team of advisors, it could not manufacture a fifth-generation fighter. I have a friendly suggestion for the Bharat Empire's fighter development plan. Use cow dung engines, which are eco-friendly, powerful, easy to maintain, and cost-effective. For radars, let Modi, the high priest, gather hundreds of clerics to chant mantras, enabling precise detection of China's J-20 and J-35, with even sixth-generation J-36 and J-50 unable to remain stealthy. As for weapons, with Gaudiya Media's Paki Sharma leading, the Bharat Empire's verbal artillery can launch remotely, completely crushing China's air forces. Such a design could be named an eighth-generation fighter, surpassing China by 2 generations, forcing the US and Russia to kneel in awe. Jai Hind. Long live Modi.